Governor's Island, Tavern. This is BlueBrixx special set 105128. It was released in October 2022 for about 90 euros. The set contains 1572 pieces. It's a BlueBrixx special set, so like most of the BlueBrixx special sets, it isn't boxed in a fancy box. You only got this quite boring one. There is no manual in a physical form. You have to download a PDF file from the BlueBrixx servers, and the bricks aren't pre-sorted by any means. So you have to open all the bags and sort the bricks before you start building. Or you just open all the bags and go for it and build for it, but that would mean a lot of searching. Well, this set is something very special. It's the first set in BlueBrixx's new pirate-themed Brick World series. So there will be two fractions as far as I understood it. There will be the Governor's guys and the pirates. The special thing about this new series is that all the buildings are completely modular. So when you have, like in this case, the governor's base, his island, and the tavern is the first building on this island, you can extend this little island with upcoming sets. And you are not forced to extend the set in one way, in one given way. For example, if there will be a second house, you can put it on the right. You don't have to put it on the left. You can put it on the front. You don't have to put it on the back. You can put it everywhere you want. So that's quite cool and a nice idea. The same is true for the base of the pirates, the bad guys. There will be a pirate island, and it's also modular, so you will be able to extend it with upcoming sets in the way you want to. That's a nice idea, this modular stuff. I like the Lego modular houses. But having a complete modular pirate world, that's something else. I'm really looking forward to it. Well, now let's look what's inside the box, and then I will have to sort all the bricks. Oof, sorting all of this will take a while. Step 18. I didn't have any problems so far, but let's talk about the bricks for a moment. Let's use some more light. Yep, that's better. So, as you probably can see, there are quite big injection points due to the molding process. And that's nothing I really like too much. I prefer those injection points when they are barely visible. And those are quite huge. These craters even got white dots in them. That's way too visible. Also, the tolerances of the bricks aren't the best, at least with some bricks. You can see this. The upper brick is a bit wider than the brick below. And so there is too much material. Another thing I'm not too fond of are that some of the bricks got quite visible scratches. The absolutely majority of the bricks is fine, like this one. But from time to time you find one which doesn't look so nice. But all in all, these bricks aren't rubbish. They are absolutely usable, and they don't look ugly or something like that. Everything works. It just could be better. But you can't complain for that price. It's fine. Oh, by the way, you noticed maybe that this is another table over here. Yeah, I changed locations to start my build. So don't wonder why everything looks a bit different than uh, back when I showed you the box. Step 48. I have just placed these barrels over here, and it's a really cool way to construct this pyramid of barrels. They are simply stuck on the studs on the wall, but the result looks fine. What I don't like so much is that the barrels are levitating. There is air beneath the barrels, so they are not touching the ground. That doesn't make sense. Step 69. I'm looking for this little Technic axle over here, but the only one that I could find is this one, which got grooves on it. I'm going to use it, and I hope they simply have forgotten to show the grooves in the building instructions. Step 92. In this step we have to place two of those 1x2 slopes in dark brown, and it's good that they wrote down that these slopes are dark brown. DB means dark brown, because when you have a look at the picture of the assembled build, you can see that those slopes look different. The one brown slope looks brighter than the other brown slope. Maybe this is supposed to be some lighting or shadow effect, but I think that's quite unpractical for building instructions. Well, but luckily they wrote down how the color is called, and so it's no problem to build it. Step 141. In this step we use 3 tiles. So over here, from here to here, we got the shortest tile. Then from here to here goes the longest tile, and the third tile from here to here. But it looks a bit strange. You can see that our brown tiles are below here, and then it looks like there are 3 additional tiles on top of the other tiles. But that's not the case. I think this picture shows the construction in an angle. So it doesn't show it like this from the top. It shows them more like this. So you can see when I put this in maybe 45 degrees angle, you can see that we can see 2 areas of different brown colors. So maybe this is the same what they did here. This aren't 2 tiles, it's just 1 row of tiles, and they are only shown in an angle. What was another problem is that you can't see in this picture where this 1x2 brick is placed. But it wasn't very difficult to find out. The only way that you can connect all those tiles with the bricks and without having separate little segments is when you place the 1x2 brick on the right. Only in that combination the 1x4 tiles overlap with the 1x4 bricks overlap with the other tiles. Step 146. My assumption in step 141 that the construction was shown in an angle seems to be right. Over here you can definitely see that these plates, these 1 by 2, 4, 6, 8 plates and whatever that other one is clearly shown in an angle, and that's how those two areas of different browns came into existence. Step 249. I just have completed this modular section of the complete build, which consists of part of the beach, a part of the cliff, this wall up here, and this palm tree. Later on, this section, or better said in the next step, this section will be added to the rest of the build. Now, my problem is that my palm tree is looking downwards. In the building instructions, it's looking upwards. But mine can't hold this position. It's because one of the Technic bricks inside, Technic pins inside the palm tree seems to have very bad tolerances. So luckily I have a spare Technic pin which was included in my Voyager set, and I hope that this one fits better than the one included in this pirate themed set. We will see. I just have replaced the Technic pin and now everything looks fine. The problem really was that the other pin was a bit too thin. Step 306. Our build is complete. Doesn't it look cute, our little tavern? It's so colorful and the whole setting is done so nicely. It feels very Caribbean. You can almost hear the waves crashing on the beach. I really like what I see here. And there are so many details. Over here, there's a little harbor with the stairs behind you, so you can come here with your boat, get up the stairs and enter the tavern. Here's a little cannon which you can rotate, and you can shoot pirate ships by entering one of those cannonballs, which are 1 by 1 round bricks. You can enter them in the cannon, then just, well, my fingers are too fat, pull over here, release it, and the cannonball will hopefully hit the pirates. I like this little sign over here. Yeah, okay, here you got some loose swords. What else do we see? A little barrel. I really like these palm trees. They even got some coconuts, and I like the way how they put this bush upside down below the leaves. It's a fantastic idea. A little pirate treasure. You can see that there is a cellar below the tavern, which is built into these rocks. There's a window. Same here. The window's all the way back in there. It's really cool little cave. Oh, the palm trees are so cool. I also like how the roof is done, and those colors, it's just amazing. Also, the wall of that little house, that you see some bricks where the color has faded away. Let's have a look inside the tavern. There are so many chairs and a little bar and so much stuff, all those bottles. If you want to have a better look, you can just detach the roof. It's quite easy if you've got two hands, but it's possible with one hand too. And now you can have a way better look. You can open the door. And let's have a look. Below here you can see that down here there's a trapdoor. Underneath you can find stairs which go down to the cellar. What I don't like so much of this interior stuff is this little barrel over here. It isn't attached. They simply should have put a brick over here, brick modified or something like that, on which you could attach the barrel, so it doesn't fall down when you detach the roof, or, as you can see now, detach the whole upper building part. But when done this, you can see what's below the guest's room. There are more barrels down there. A lot of bottles. I like how they store those bottles over here. And maybe the highlight of this room is this distillery. That's fun. As you can see, all of the set has visible stats, so if you got some minifigures, you can play with the set. It's not just a display set. Everything is very stable, and I think kids would have much fun with it. Of course, it isn't very realistic. I mean, there's this island and only one big building on this island. Who would do this? It looks a bit stupid, but also the appearance is very nice. I said before that this is a modular set, and these building parts aren't the only modular thing. The whole island itself is modular, so you can detach the left, the right, the front and the back parts of the island, and also the corners, to attach other parts of the island which will come in later BlueBrixx sets. So let me just detach all parts and then we will see. You can see what I mean. Okay, now I have detached all the modules, and as you can see, they are absolutely interchangeable. So for example, you can take this module with the palm tree and put it over here, and oops, and then you can take the other one over here. So you got the whole harbor on the other side now. And I don't know, you can interchange this with that. and so on. You understand what I'm saying. Well, it's a funny idea, and right now it doesn't make too much sense. You can customize your island with those a bit, but right now it isn't that interesting. But as soon as the other sets, the expansions for the Governor's Island will be released, then you can extend your island, and it's you can extend it in a modular way, so you can make it larger on the north side or on the south side, whatever you want. And I think this is a really interesting idea. The individual modules are very sturdy. They are connected to each other by those Technic pins. So, for example, if you want to build this little island, you just have to interlock the pins with the corresponding hole on the other side. I'm a bit clumsy when doing this with just one hand, but I think you can see where it's going. So, and voila, we got this nice little island. And later on, when we have more modules with the upcoming sets, we can create way more islands or extend this island into a way bigger one. Building this set was quite fun, especially building this cute little house. Doesn't it look amazing? I really love its looks. This is a nice little island. What was a bit exhausting was building all those beach modules. It is quite repetitive. Of course, they all look a bit different from each other, but the building process is more or less the same. Especially putting all those plates on each other was a bit annoying because you need a lot of pressure so that they interlock nicely, and after a while your fingers start to hurt. But when I see the result, I can live with my hurting fingers. Oh, one thing. What was a bit difficult to build was the inside, or better said, underneath the tavern, this distillery thing. So, as you can see, it got 4 of those black feet. They consist of 2 1x1 round tiles or round plates, and between them there is this 2x2 gray tile and this round one, and placing it there was quite difficult because it doesn't sit on the ground. It sits beneath the black plates, so it's below the upper black 1x1 plate and above the lower black 1x1 plate, and that made placing it quite difficult. There was a lot of tension, but it took me a while, but finally it somehow fell in place. So I think this was actually the only difficult part in the whole set. Everything else was quite easy to build, and the result just looks amazing. I absolutely can recommend the set, and when you think of all the upcoming sets which will extend this base island to a way bigger island, I really look forward to it. That's a fantastic idea. I love the concept. So I absolutely can recommend this Governor's Island.